This mutation is urban warfare, and we are live in Korhal. And we have a number of mutators active. We have Minesweeper, Photon Overload, and we move unseen. So, pretty nasty set of mutators actually, now that I see it. Minesweeper is really scary. If you are not paying attention to the minimap, if you are not like really looking closely at the ground, you can get smoked really quickly and lose your entire army. So that is not very pleasant. Photon Overload, not really much of an issue. It does make the enemy bases a little bit more difficult to push into. And then we move unseen, which is again really nasty. Having all enemy units cloaked is not very pleasant. Especially on this map, we have a very early attack wave that'll spawn. So the attack wave spawns at the 2-minute mark, and will usually hit the base between 2 minutes and 35 seconds and 2 minutes and 55 seconds, depending on how fast the units in the first attack wave move. So having that early detection is really important over here. So we do have Karax and Artanis together, so Karax should be able to build, yeah, so he's already put down his forge, and now he's going to put down an instant photon cannon over there, and he'll actually have now enough, he'll have the detection to be able to see the enemy units at the very least. And we have now a nice 1 zealot that's going to be warped in over there, and I believe Karax should be using his Spear Photon abilities to wipe that first attack wave, which is really well planned out on both the players' parts over there. So he's even put down, like, you can see like Karax is using his okay, that was a really good set of orbital strikes there. Yeah, that was a really good set of orbital strikes. But you can see here, Artanis has put down his warp field, and Karax is using that. Like, it's a really good synergy between the commanders, really good teamwork. It's teamwork that you very rarely see in co-op, so I'm actually somewhat kind of impressed with that. So we have Artanis is over here. He's clearing his expansion. Karax is sending a probe over there. Oh, there we go. So that is the probe's one free hit, and there we go. How did that probe actually get there without triggering that Spire Mine? So you can see these minefields are pretty nasty, and it's very unfortunate for Karax to have these minefields in this position. He's going to start cleaning up some of this stuff. You can see the Karax really does not want to wait until this one photon cannon clears up all these mines here, but it does get really nasty. So gotta be careful. And these things are spread like all the way through. I think it is somewhat unlucky that these mines spawned in that location over there. Usually it does not really. He's put down a Kai'Daran. It's like, you know what? Enough of this. Just enough of this madness. I want to clear my expansion and I want to expand. So he's put down a Kai'Daran and have photon cannon over there. I think there should be nothing left over here now, so this should be okay.
Upgrade complete.
So Artanis is saying he's gonna get the first Void Shard, which is good because Karax is somewhat engaged in dealing with this side. Production-wise, everything is going okay. Karax is not producing anything just yet, but Artanis is putting down a Stargate, so he might be going into the air units, which might be okay. Having the air units over there. Oh, he's put down the okay, so he's done the solar bombardment on this side, which is I guess this is okay. Normally you'd want to put down the solar bombardment into the second enemy base, not this first one. This Void Shard doesn't really have a lot of defenders, but that is okay. 2 orbital strikes do go down from Karax and does clear up most of these Reapers on this side. There is a little bit of there are a few stragglers that are left over there, but again they will be detected on this side, and they decide to turn around. Nope, they changed their mind, came back again. Like, what? I have to actually go and attack the players? Can I not go back home? Lots of cannons over there. He has put down a photon cannon on this side, but I believe this photon cannon is blocking the this Nexus positioning over there, so this might be a problem for Karax. So a few orbital strikes do get used on to try and deal with this, and probes have decided to betray this photon cannon, so using the probes to clear now this. There is a repair beam on this side with the Kai'Daran Molotov also focusing this down. That goes down, and now the Nexus will come out. So if you really want to clear your gas rocks, what you can do is put down 1 pylon on this side, roughly where this pylon is, and then put down 2 cannons on there. But usually what you'll want to do is clear your expansion with your orbital strikes. I believe Karax did have enough energy to use his orbital strikes to clear the main rocks. So clear the main rocks with the orbital strikes, put down the pylon right next to your nexus, and then put down 2 cannons and use the cannons to clear the remaining assimilators as well. So that is one option over there. So the players are like sitting in their bases right now because detection is a problem. I don't believe there is any movable detection yet. There are no observers on the map yet, and they will need these observers to be able to spot the mines that are spread around the battlefield. If you are actually paying attention, you can take out the mines. You can actually see the little holes the widow mines make on the ground, and I'll try and zoom in on whenever there is a little bit of vision, and I'll try and show you what those look like. But it does get kind of nasty. And I think the spider mines are not even like the spider mines will be cloaked, I believe. So you do need to have detection anyway. But you can kind of see where the minefields are because the mines are not spread all the way like all around the map. They spawn in little patches, and I'll try and see if I can show you that as well. But yeah, you can see there's one marine over there that is arriving this side. This is a shadow tech composition, so which is kind of nasty. There is enough static defense on this side to take out the enemy forces here, and it should be okay. So we do have 2 cannons on this side, so I believe Karax will be tower pushing to deal with this. Down goes the Liberator, and this probe over here is just waiting. I'm just trying to see if I can spot any of the minefields. These things do spot, like these things spawn in little patches. So as long as you see one hole from a widow mine, then you know that there is a minefield patch over there, and then you can kind of target it down specifically. Can't really see any yet. Yeah, so these guys are actually looking for these minefields right now. Okay, so we have solar bombardment ready now for Artanis, so he's going to like cast another solar bombardment on inside this enemy base over here. You can see how this probe is like really afraid of. So we have a purifier beam. And we have the solar bombardment on this side. I don't think this purifier beam is going to be sufficient enough to take out this shard, but there are a ton of call lines coming down. Yeah, so I don't. Okay, so one of those shards has gone down. The solar bombardment was enough. The purifier beam was not. So it means they're going to have to tower push there. You can see one of the mine, like the spire mines on that side. I think it's taken out relatively quickly. Dark Templar just gets instantly sniped by the Kaidaran, and now there's an attack wave on this side, and there are Marauders and a bunch of Liberators, but again, these Tempests should have no problems making short work of that army. I'm still looking for a little spot so I can actually show you what the Widow Mine patch looks like. There you go. So you see over there, see those little craters? That's where that's how you can see like there's a widow mine on that side. So if you're paying attention, you can tell where these patches are and then deal with it accordingly. But again, Artanis' army does move in, and he has a Guardian Shell ability, but he does end up soaking a lot of the damage, which is I'm not sure if that was intended, but it worked relatively well. So, obviously the Spire Mines can't target the Tempest, but the Widow Mines can still hit the Tempest and deal a lot of damage. Those things are pretty nasty. There is a rally over here of probes. The Spire Mines are not aggroing those probes over there, so it's only the Widow Mines, which is okay. Now we have these 5 Tempests, and I believe they want to go for the most area. So that's what I was talking about, the Widow Mines aggroing the Tempest over there. Tempest decide to do a retreat, but 3 of the 4 Widow Mines have already dealt their damage. They should be targeting that one down because this thing is still on cooldown. So, anyway, those things go down, and now Artanis has a bunch of observers with his Tempest, which means he should be okay for the most part. I think he wants to try and engage his bonus objective over here. Bonus objective is also cloaked, and he's going to have to actively micro this to make sure he doesn't get hit by the pulse. Or I think it's called a shock blast.
Our pylon is under attack.
And view of the call-downs over there. And one of the Tempests does get clipped by the charge ability of this thing. The see if they go for a retreat now. Oh, he just wants to get a little bit of repair from Karax before it goes through. Karax is tower pushing on this side relatively well as well. So, doing okay on this. Right. Artanis does want to go and engage us, but this attack wave is making its way towards the player's bases over here. Lots of Liberators, lots of Cyclones, really annoying composition to be honest. Shadow Tech just kind of sucks in general. These Cyclones are just going to keep kiting the Zealots, but those things have gone down now. And in that time, also Artanis has taken out the bonus objective, and they are good to go and push towards the next set of Void Shards. There's a siege tank over there, which is kind of nasty. Okay, so these things are cloaked, which is what's making it a little bit more difficult. A Yamato cannon goes down on on the Kaidaran model. It takes that Kaidaran out, and that siege tank is causing. That siege tank is a hero siege tank. It's taken off so much of Karax's defenses over there, and the commanders are appearing to have fun and basking in the glory of their pain. But yeah, having that siege tank over there. So I think did that siege tank go down? Nope, the siege tank is still alive. They need to get some detection out there. There we go. So there's some detection. Siege tank starts to shell at these Photon cannons, but now an orbital strike comes down and takes out that siege tank. There is one more that is parked between the factory and the starport. So there we go. Photon cannon comes down, and the orbital strikes do come down, but they are not focusing down that siege tank. But I think there we go. That siege tank is gone now. This base will now be cleared. So unit-wise, yeah. So Karax is doing a pure tower push. Artanis is building a mass Tempest here to clear this mission. So 80 seconds left on the beam. Actually a little bit less than that. He has 60 seconds left on the beam. And Artanis is ready. There is again a little bit more harass, a bunch of Widow Mines and Spiral Mines that need to be cleared out before the players are able to push into that side. So Karax is building a ton of towers that Raven decides to harass and drop a cannon over there, or a small turret. Seeker Missile gets focused down on one of the Tempests. Tempest is not going to micro it back, but a Solar Lance comes down and clears out a lot of the attack waves over there. I'm not sure if the Battlecruiser got its Yamato cannon off before the before it died. So the Purifier Beam has come down and is going to start clearing out these small units, and that should be the recommended use. There's still a minefield over there, but I don't think Karax has noticed that. Okay, now okay, never mind. Those things have already aggroed. But yeah, if you're actually looking and paying attention to the ground, you kind of see where these minefields are, and I think the Purifier Beam can be useful for clearing those sides out. A Solar Bombardment has gone down to one of the Void Shards. One of the Void Shards it does get cleared out. We have two more Void Shards, but these are standing behind a bunch of mines there. So Artanis will probably have to try and clear that out before he chooses to move in forward with his Tempest army. He's getting really dangerously close to those. There's one Zealot runs in to try and soak up the damage, and actually is a hero Zealot there. He gave up his life to protect those Tempests. So those mines all aggroed that one Zealot instead of the Tempest, which was good for Artanis. And now Artanis has a large number of Tempests, and should be more than enough to clear these two Void Shards over there. And Karax is now starting to push on this side. So you can see there's a little two craters on that side. That's where these Widow Mines are. Very close to getting killed by those Widow Mines, but the cannon will be to clear it. Two orbital strikes come down as well. Karax is flowing a lot of energy. He's flowing around 240 energy right now, so should be using that to. He can dump that on these minefields. It's not really a big deal since Artanis has reached a point where he has a really strong army. One Widow Mine does manage to hit one of these Tempests on this side. And as you can tell, there are a lot of minefields over here. So, but I think you can see that these minefields spawn in patches. And these are the patches you should be looking for to clear. Solar Lance comes down, clears out most of the. I think clears out all of the ground component of this attack wave, and there is a few of the air units left over. But again, no big deal. The Kaidaran Mall is already clear. So you can see there's a minefield patch over here as well. Again, tower pushing by Karax is able to start working away and clearing these minefields and the enemy defenders on that side. That Photon Overlord is not large enough to deal with the Kaidaran monolith there. Tempests do get hit by some of the Widow Mines again. And, does he have protection? No, he does have an observer there. And Artanis has decided to forego clearing this enemy base. He just wants to take out that fire ship over there. So that is one thing you can do if you have air units. You don't really need to go and clear this entire enemy base over there. Karax providing a little bit of support for Artanis' army. It does end up getting clipped a little bit. Two sides, but his Guardian Shell manages to keep his units alive. So far, Artanis has lost 62 Zealots and 2 Tempests. The 62 Zealots might seem really bad, but Artanis is floating a lot of minerals anyway. So using the Zealots as a mineral dump to soak up the mine damage is really good play on this point. Karax also hasn't really lost very much. 4 Kaidarans and 3 Photon cannons by tower pushing, so that's actually okay as well. We have a little bit of push from Karax. He's running a little bit low on energy right now, but he has gotten a solar efficiency level 3, which is also really good, because if he is using his Spear of Idun energy aggressively like this, getting that level 3 upgrade is very useful, especially if you're tower pushing and you don't really need that much gas. So you can see here it's pulling a lot of gas. Might as well get it anyway. So you can see there, that was a perfect indication of what a minefield patch looks like. So this is how the Minesweeper Mutator works. The mines are not scattered evenly around the battlefield. They come up in little patches over there. So I hope you're able to see that. If not, give the replay a little bit of a rewind, and you can see what that kind of looks like. So Artanis does have Solar Bombardment ready, and he has a maxed out army as well. So maxed out Tempest, really good, lots of DPS. As you can see, he's warped in a bunch of Zealots over there, and he's just gonna run them through the minefield, just to soak up the damage. You can see here, really good play here. He doesn't really need these Zealots. The Zealots are just, a mineral dump anyway. He's camped out on his army. He does lose 50 supply, but again, it does not matter. There is an attack wave that has spawned here, but it is just going to run into Karax's defenses here. The Tempests, again, there is a lot of DPS from the Tempests, and they should be able to clear out these Void Shards with no problem, as long as he doesn't end up losing too many of them. Most of the high HP, high value defenders have been cleared on this side. Hybrid goes down as well. But yeah, these things are going to have a very tough time pushing through Karax's defenses. By that time, the enemy mission is going to be ended. Unit-wise, is Artanis gonna warp it? Yeah, there we go. So he's gonna warp it again, more Zealots, and just send them towards these mines, just to soak up these damage. Soak up the damage from here. Keep the damage off the Tempests, which is very clever play here. Personally, I would just clear the mines, but again, if you're at this stage of the mission, just focus fire down all your call downs. Yeah, so there we go. That is that Void Shard down, and that is GG.